How much lower can crude oil prices go? For the past 2 years, WTI seemed to have a hard floor at $64 per barrel. But in early April, WTI prices broke down to that support, falling as low as $56, a 4-year low. Over the past several years, crude oil prices have hit headwinds from 3 main sources. First, slowing growth in China. Since 2005, when Chinese growth crests, crude oil prices often peak about 1 year later. China's growth rate last crested in 2021 and has since slowed, and crude oil prices peaked in 2022 and have since fallen. Second, U.S. production has risen to 13.5 million barrels of oil per day. Third, cars and trucks have been on a 20-year path towards greater efficiency. Each year, the average car on the road uses about 2% less fuel per unit of distance driven than the year before. So slower growth in China, higher U.S. production, and greater efficiency have made it difficult for crude prices to sustain a rally. Over the past few years, OPEC has cut production by 3.5 million barrels of oil per day, and most of those cuts have been in Saudi Arabia. If the Saudis decide to boost production, WTI prices could fall further still. In late 2014, when the Saudis boosted production, oil prices fell from $90 to as low as $25 per barrel. Back in 1985, the Saudis boosted production from 6 to 10 million barrels of oil per day, and crude oil prices fell from $32 to $12, a 70% decline. So if the Saudis opt for market share rather than supporting prices, WTI prices could fall further to the downside. The same could also be true if tariffs slow global demand.